Well, Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you all had a safe and relaxing New Year's holiday, and welcome back, I guess, to work. I wanted to start off the new year by congratulating one of the best of the best. There's an old adage, and only I think the mayor of San Francisco can probably get away with saying this, or at least quoting this person, and that was the late, great Jerry Garcia, who said, "You don't want to be the best of the best. You want to be the only one that does what you do." Well, that was Claire Murphy in her extraordinary 4 decades of service in our San Francisco retirement system. No one was better. No one was more respected, at times more feared, but I think no one rose above the politics of investment better than Claire Murphy. And she's been recognized all across the country. And it's really one of the reasons our pension system consistently has outperformed all our benchmark cities. And I couldn't be more proud of her contribution as a San Franciscan and as someone who worked closely with her in the last 14, 15 years since I've been in elected office. Claire, we will miss you. Job well done. So I wanted to at least kick off with a recognition of your outstanding contribution. I also wanted to just say, hey, congratulations, Dennis Herrera and Jose Cisneros, another job well done. They were the most uneventful elections, weren't they, Dennis and Jose, because they really had no opponents, if any, but they, I think, deserved the overwhelming support, and I congratulate them. Dennis on his 3rd term, Jose technically on his 2nd term. We had Jose swearing in this week, and Dennis Herrera had his swearing in, and I just wanted to thank them again for their willingness to continue to serve the people of San Francisco and for their example and their leadership of our city. I also wanted to acknowledge that this weekend we're going to have a 100th anniversary of A.C.T, which is such an exceptional theater group and deserves a lot of praise and a lot of reflective consideration, because really, you know, it's one of the first in the country, and everything that defines the cultural and theatrical heritage that marks San Francisco's creative index of sorts. And so I want to just thank everybody at A.C.T. also for a job well done, and I'll see you this weekend at that 100th anniversary. On to some business first. We had a great week for the Central Subway. Our Central Subway just got approval for its final design. What does that mean, and what am I even talking about? Well, those of you that don't know what the Central Subway is, this is the 2nd phase of that 3rd Street light rail. The original light rail goes from about where the Cow Palace is in Visitation Valley down into where the ballpark is. And it ends there. It's about 5.1 miles. Cost us about $648 million. And I say us, state, federal, local dollars. This is the 2nd phase, and this is a 1.7 mile extension that takes that system, again, all the way, ultimately, from Visitation Valley down to Chinatown. We've spent years and years moving this process along, and now we're hitting our stride with this final, we're getting in the final throes, but with this approval for the final design. And what that means is we are just a year and a half or so away from what we hope is the final full funding agreement, which would allow us to draw down about $1 billion of federal money on this $1.6 billion project. And remember, every $1 billion of transportation money that's invested creates about 30,000 jobs. So this is really a jobs victory, not just a victory of sorts in terms of getting a few dollars from the federal government. This will translate to meaningful jobs between now and about 2018 when this project is fully complete. So outstanding news. And I want to thank Senator Feinstein. I want to thank Speaker Pelosi, Senator Boxer. I want to thank not just Mayor Brown, but the mayors before that. I think going back, candidly, to Art Agnos, that helped initiate this process, Mayor Jordan. It's really a baton that's been passed along, and it's nice to be mayor that every year, I can assure you, going back to Washington, D.C., that's lobbying for more support for this, to be here finally to see that support manifest with this final phase is really rewarding. And congratulations to Nat Ford and the team at the MTA for all their hard work. It's now paid off. So great news for the Central Subway. This is now real. Incidentally, at this phase, there's never been a similar project that hasn't gotten into that final full grant, full participation, and full funding agreement. So this is really, really a big, big story from my perspective for this city and county of San Francisco. Another interesting thing that happened this week is we shut down a tunnel. We're going through this water system improvement project. $4+ billion being invested. Again, thousands of jobs being created at work as we speak. It's something we're very proud of in the city because we're building out a system or rebuilding a system for the entire region. But if you live in the region, you may have noticed that something's just not right. And that is when you turn on your taps, some of you may have experienced some cloudiness in the water. Don't panic. It doesn't mean the water system has collapsed. All it means is we've shut down a tunnel, this Coast Range tunnel. We've done it. We're going to do it for 45 days. It will reopen on February 20th. And as a consequence, we're not getting water now directly from the Sierra Nevadas from Hetchetchee. We're actually using one of our 5 reservoirs in the reserve and the reservoirs to feed the needs of 2.5 million people, Peninsula East Bay and here in San Francisco. We're doing that again as part of this water system improvement project. February 20th it will end. If you have some concerns or questions, and again, don't be too concerned. All you have to do, it's just air that's getting in the water because of these new sources. Just call 311 and they'll walk you through and explain it. But I've gotten a couple calls, people wondering what's going on. Nothing to be alarmed about. We still have the most pristine and some of the best and most secure water of any municipality in the country. Another, I think, interesting, event that we had this week goes around the issue of security and the concerns about what happened Christmas Day. And people were asking us, what are we doing at San Francisco International Airport? I think it's important to note we have been a leader in security. We have always been on the leading and cutting edge of trying new technologies. One of the first airports to get aggressive on cargo screenings. We were one of the first to introduce the latest technology with CCTV, these closed-circuit televisions. We went from 150 a decade ago now to over 1,000 closed-circuit televisions. We just received a $5 million grant to get the next quality of digitized megapixel camera technology. We announced that this week. We also announced the fact that for over a year, we were one of 19 airports in this country that were working on a piloted basis with this whole body imaging technology that's getting a lot of attention and support from the Obama administration, but a lot of concern from civil liberties and civil rights groups or civil liberties groups, which are understandable because people are getting x-rayed, their full bodies are getting x-rayed, not using x-ray technology. So don't be fearful if you go through one of these, but radio wave technology that work about 1/10 of the radio waves that you would get in your average cell phones, incidentally. We have strong protections in place. That's why we haven't received many complaints about our whole body technology as we've, again, been using it for now over a year. Your face is pixelated, so no one can see your face. The person that's screening you is actually in a separate room, so they don't see you. Third, we cannot download any images. It's impossible. The system won't allow people to download an image. People are concerned their image may be downloaded. And finally, once you go through and someone else goes through, your image is automatically erased permanently as that new image is created. That's why we haven't, I think, received any complaints to date. But I know there's concern about it. But this airport is ready to accept any new federal dollars and appropriations for more whole body imaging technology. It used to be we were going after guns and knives. Now we have to deal with IEDs. You want to be patted down. None of us like being patted down, but you need to be patted down in a way that I don't think any of us want to be patted down in order to detect some of these IEDs and the concerns now, obviously, that we need to address from Christmas Day. It's not an easy thing to accept, but I think it's an inevitable part of what we have to accept, not just at San Francisco International Airport, but across this country with this technology, at the same time being thoughtful and building a framework to deal with people's concerns around civil liberties, which are absolutely right. And I think the airport and John Martin and his team have done a very good job to do just that. Finally, a couple quick notes. Monday is a very exciting day in San Francisco. You've got this remarkable partnership of Ted Olson and David Boies. These are the folks, Bush v. Gore, that are on both sides of that debate, one representing Bush, the other one Gore. Well, they've come together around their support for same-sex marriage, and they'll be literally fighting a federal case, or making a federal case and fighting for marriage equality right behind me on Monday. Will actually be televised on YouTube, so I hope people look out for that. I know David Boies a bit. We actually had a meeting here a few weeks back. He is as good as it gets, and Olson is as well. And I think we could not be more blessed to have their leadership and stewardship. And I also want to acknowledge the good work of the City Attorney's Office, which will also be participating in this federal case. And ultimately, we think will go to the U.S. Supreme Court, and we hope things will turn out well. Two other just quick anecdotes and points. The Jobs Now program is really taking off. Almost 1,300 people have been employed by this program. And if you don't, again, know about it, call 311. 650 businesses or nonprofits are participating. But this is a remarkable stat. We have wages of about $20.58. 93% of people that have been employed through this program are minorities, 50% African Americans, 16% Chinese. This works. This is a stimulus program that's working and putting people back to work. I cannot impress upon you more, and I'll keep talking about this, that this Jobs Now program should be a national model. I wished in many respects, not to be critical of the governor, I wish he talked about this fact that we have $1.7 billion of federal money that's sitting here available for the state of California, and we're not drawing it down. Our biggest problem is getting the people to hire, not necessarily find the people that need to be hired. I wish the state would take some more leadership in this, and we're reaching out to the governor's office to do just that, and we're hopeful that we can see more progress. Final point. Governor came out today with his budget. We're going through it. On Monday afternoon, I'll have some more comments on the expected cuts, and they did not look good, I assure you. Not necessarily surprising, but the $20 billion shortfall that exists in the state is definitely going to have an impact on us here in San Francisco County, but we'll have more news on that on Monday. And then on Wednesday of next week, we'll have our State of the City. I know how excited everyone is for my State of the City, but I actually have a lot of good news and a lot of sobering news, but I think, well, I hope it will be a successful State of the City, and it may be a little longer than the governor's 27-minute State of the State, but, you know, I love working without notes. Sometimes I go on and on. And in peril, or at peril of going on and on today, I'll end there. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. Congrats again to Dennis Herrera and Jose Cisneros. We'll miss you, Claire, but I know you won't be far away. And thanks to everybody that's working hard in San Francisco to get our budget in place and working hard to get our State of the City ready for next Wednesday, 6 o'clock, at the Asian Art Museum. Take care, everybody.